Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm reviewing Deckers, the re-implementation and new version of the old game Renegade. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. In Deckers, 1 to 4 players are moving around this network made up of different tiles that are built differently each game, trying to complete different objectives, while putting down different programs in the network to help them achieve different actions, while also managing the sparks that are getting spawned round after round, which will impede their actions and could cause an instant loss. And the core action of the game is controlled by card play and a system similar to Mage Knight, with players being able to freely upgrade their cards into advanced actions as the game progresses. So let's discuss 5 key things to know about Deckers. So for my number 5 point, the least important to know, but still important or it wouldn't make the list, I am looking at the different modes and variants in the game, and this is a pro for my taste. So as I'll discuss later in the video, there's already a ton of variety in the game, lots of bosses, lots of objectives, lots of characters, but you also have other fun things to try out. You can turn the tiles to their varied side to change up where the colors of the network are located. You can boost any of the bosses with these upgrade cards that add a climactic boss battle at the end and also make things more difficult. And you also have these packet tokens connected to cards that can go out on the network and surprise you with bonuses and penalties. It's just a lot of nice options overall to vary up the gameplay. And again, there's already a ton of variety even without these things, so it's a nice touch. Next to number 4 are the objective cards that are your core mission for the game, and this is a mix for my taste. On the positive side, there's tons of variety in these cards. And at the beginning of the game, even as you're setting up, you're allowed to look at the faces of all of them so you can see what's coming, and you can really have a long-term strategy in place. In fact, you often need that to win. But on the potentially negative side, the back sides of the cards, which determine what special effects happen when you succeed or fail at them, and also how some of the things will move on the board, are hidden to you, and some of them are pretty nasty surprises. Now, not a big deal. You can see what's happening, and next time you play, do better, but it can be a little frustrating to lose because you didn't realize what the backside of a card was going to do. And then also, I've found that the balance for some of them feels slightly weird with different player counts, which, makes sense. There's a ton of these cards, and playing 1 to 4 players changes things greatly. But sometimes they can feel a little too easy or a little too hard, and it can lead to frustrating or, on the other hand, anticlimactic endgames sometimes. My number 3 point is the core card play in the game, and this is a pro for my taste. So as I mentioned in the beginning, this is a very Mage Knight-ish system. You start out with 5 cards in your hand at a time, and you play through a turn. You can keep 1 card if you want. You draw 5 more cards from your deck, and then finally the last 5 cards, so the 15 cards in your deck are kind of a timer. And your cards have different commands at the bottom, but you can use them for lots of actions. You can use 3 of any command to get a wild, so you have more flexibility than it might seem. And the commands and actions interact in really interesting ways with the programs on the board, and especially in multiplayer games, you can lay out programs to help other people out or lay down roads to help you all travel more easily. And of course, once you upgrade your cards with the deck building into these more advanced cards with cool powers, the actions you can take become even more varied and more exciting and more strategically interesting. So just a really solid card play system overall. But what good is card play and objectives without a fun opponent to go up against? And that's my number 2 and another pro for my taste, which are the SMCs, the supermassive computers, the opponents you're going against, as well as the sparks and guardians they lay out to challenge you. So there are a bunch of these SMCs at varied difficulty levels, and they have highly different ways that they spawn sparks. And as I mentioned earlier, being able to upgrade any of them to even make like the simplest one of them into a nasty customer is a great option. And when you get down to it, a lot of what these computers, these bosses are doing is putting down these sparks to gum up your actions, to destroy your programs. And if you don't manage their numbers, they can form these guardians that are even scarier. Or you can just lose the game immediately if you run out of sparks to place. So it ends up feeling like a much more strategic and tense version of a crisis management game like Pandemic, which is my only caveat, that sometimes it can be a little frustrating to manage these guys. It can make combat feel like the only option to pursue fully. That doesn't change the fact that the bosses are highly varied, demand extremely different strategies, and are a lot of fun to experiment with. But my number 1 point about the game, my favorite thing, the most important to know, is the deck upgrading. And I love this system. In fact, this system was one of the major ones that inspired Peter and I to design Flame and Fang's deck upgrading system. Because how it works is you can take cards from your hand, these basic cards you start with, and if you spend commands equal to the upper right value in the 4-card offer of advanced actions, you can permanently call a card from your deck and add the new card to your hand immediately, which means your deck always stays 15 cards, but as you play round after round, you are getting stronger and stronger cards with better command icons, with cool powers. And just the idea that you're maintaining your deck size is something I love. It's genius because we know so many deck builders kind of bloat your deck and you don't draw your cards consistently. Here, every single upgrade you do makes your deck better forever without ever increasing its size. Just a really, really cool design choice. So overall, if you like strategic tactical card play, if you like really cool deck building, and if you want a game that can offer a crazy challenge for 1 to 4 players, then Deckers might be for you. But on the other hand, if you want a game that's going to be easy to learn and master, you don't want to be surprised by sudden abilities, if you don't want to be doing tons of crisis management, pandemic style, and destroying sparks for a lot of your play, then you might want to avoid this one. And if you want to see the game in action, I have a playthrough of it recently on the channel. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.